Hey, what's up, guys? It's Lo from Nino and Lo, and I'm here with you with another garden video. Today, we are seeding up some zinnias. Let's get to it, shall we?
Hey everybody, I'm here and I'm about to start my zinnia seeds indoors. I have quite the collection here, and I know zinnias are perfect seeds to sow directly into the garden, but you can also start them indoors 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date. Now, I plan to plant them in succession so that I get continuous blooms. What do I mean by that? I'm going to plant a few now, and then maybe in another 2 weeks, plant another set. And then after my last frost date, plant them every couple weeks. I'll just sprinkle some seeds in the garden so that I'll have a continual succession of blooms. Now, as I said, zinnias do very well being planted directly into your garden. But because my growing season here is so short, I want to get a head start and have a few plants ready after my last frost date. Now, I'm using some seed starting mix, and I put some of my peat that I had. Now, I got this peat. I'll show you what it looks like here. Now, I got these in a planting kit when I had gotten some amaryllis plants, and I have bags and bags of these that I've never used. So I just added that to my seed starting mix. Notice I reuse all my buckets. So I just added to the seed starting mix, and as you can see, it's damp. It sticks together, but it's not dripping wet. And I'm just filling up these little cells here before I start putting the seeds in. Now, these seeds, they don't need anything special. They don't need any cold stratification. You don't need to soak them. You don't need to pre-sprout them. You just need to plant them either directly into your garden or directly into your seed trays. All right, I'm just going to mix up a little bit more of this. And this stuff is pretty light and airy. Now, it does have some twigs and stuff like that in the mixture, and I just pick them out. If they're too big, I just pick them right out. And then I just mix it up here in my Oreo ice cream tub. Like, see, like something like this. I just pick that right out. See? Now that one is huge. Okay, I think it's mixed up nicely. Oh. So we'll just continue filling up these cells. Now you gotta pat them nice so you make sure that there's no real air pockets.
Zinnias are so easy to grow, guys. Now, I should let you know that I live in Toronto, Canada, which makes me a zone 5B or a zone 6, depending on who you talk to. I've always known myself to be in a 5B, but they've changed all the different zones based on if you're looking at an American system, a Canadian system. So let's just say that my last frost date is usually around the 24th of May, which is a holiday over here. We call that Queen Victoria's birthday, Queen Victoria Day. Or if you're a real Canadian hoser, you say it's May 2-4 weekend. 2-4 meaning the 24th is her birthday, or a 2-4 24 pack of beer. Whichever way, we usually use the holiday in May as our kind of benchmark. Although this year They're calling for our last frost date to be a little bit earlier, to be between May 11th to the 20th. And I believe the last frost date is all the way close to Halloween in October. Now, these zinnias come as doubles, they come as singles, they come as pom-poms, they come tall, short, every color you can think of.
Okay, so I have my mix, my seed starting mix all packed into my little cells, and I have them all labeled. Now, I just put these on little bits of cardboard, and I have them all labeled there with the date. So I'm just going to sow them in rows here. So we're starting out with this Pulcino mix, Pulcino, I don't know. And it says mixed colors, but I only see red and yellow on these. Now, zinnia seeds look like this. They have a pointed end, and apparently you're supposed to plant them with the pointed end down. But I don't think it really matters all that much, because Mother Nature knows what she's doing as far as seeds go. So these grow to a height of about 30 centimeters or so, and it says to plant them to a depth of 0.6 millimeters. Now I'm just going to put just a tiny little hole there, not too deep, because I don't want to damage the seed by pushing it in. Just a little hole that I can just set the seed in. And I am planting 2 seeds per cell just in case one doesn't germinate. I still have the other, and if they both germinate, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Either separate them or just discard one, whichever the weaker one is.
And zinnias grow so fast from the time you plant it to the time that you bloom that you can just keep dropping seeds. You can get a bloom within 60 days of planting, and that's awesome.
So I'll just gently cover over the seeds. Now, zinnias are sun worshippers. They love full sun. So I have a few sunny places in my garden that will love these. And they're also prone to mildew, so you got to be careful with your spacing. Now, according to this seed packet, it says that these seedlings should germinate between 7 and 10 days. Okay, we got our first row.
If you're interested in trying out this Jiffy 72 cell dome tray to start your seedlings, I'll link it down below in my Amazon store.
Okay, next we have this Cresto orange. Those look like a little bit of like a pom-pom style. I've never had these before, but I've always wanted to grow these, and I really like the orange color. And these seeds, they're a little lighter in color, but basically have the same shape. Now these ones, it says they produce a high percentage of flowers, and that they also germinate within 5 to 7 days. So I'm doing the same thing, just making little holes to be able to plop the seeds in.
Here's some shots of the zinnia plants that I grew last year.
Like I said, they've suggested, research shows, to put the pointy end down. So I'm trying to do that, but I'm not going to worry too much about it if I don't. Like I said, Mother Nature has a way of getting these things right.
If you haven't already subscribed, now would be a great time for you to hit that subscribe button. You might even want to consider that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos and we can compare notes and talk to each other and become great garden friends. I appreciate every single one of my subscribers.
Just gonna cover these up. And I did 2 rows of these. Next, we have this cut and come again mixed colors. And we'll sew 2 rows of these because I like the pink color. These seeds are a little darker. Now these say that they are one of the most popular cutting zinnias, and they can give double flowers, and they produce all summer long from midsummer on. And it's always nice to have flowers that you can cut and bring in if you like. What's the point of growing flowers? Now, anybody that's been following me for a while knows that I grow more flowers than I do food. So it only makes sense to be able to plant something that you can cut and it'll still keep going. All right, let's go. Just got a few more seeds here. Okay, so now we're on our last row, and these are California mixed giants. Now it says that these grow to about 102 centimeters, which is about 40 inches tall. So these ones are definitely for the back of the border. Now zinnias are kind of, like I said, prone to mildew. So once you have them in the garden, you got to make sure they have good airflow around them. And they're also quite susceptible to aphids and spider mites. They don't like their leaves to be too wet when you water them. So if it's possible to water from behind or water them early enough in the day so that the sun will dry off the leaves, because keeping the leaves wet will just, get mildew going in there. And once you've had your zinnias full of mildew, it's over. You have to kind of cut stems down, and it's not nice. It's just easier to just give them proper spacing and try to prevent it. All right, there we go. We have our first batch. Now, if you can see this setup here, now, you see this comes right out so that I would be watering from the bottom. I can show you the box for this thing. Right, so you have this part here where you plant in, and then there's the under part here where you put the water. So it makes it a lot easier to bottom water in something like this. So now that I have all that on, I'm not going to really worry about watering at the moment. And that's just because this soil mixture is pretty moist. So I am not too worried about watering it initially. But I'm going to make sure that these don't dry out.
So my seeds are all sewn up in their little cells. So I'm going to place them on a heat mat because zinnias do need heat to germinate. They will germinate, say, between 4 to 8 days, depending on your seed. And they also need darkness to germinate. So I'm going to cover them over with this dark plastic covering, and I'm definitely going to make sure that these seeds do not dry out. If you'd like, you can add a layer of vermiculite. That will help to keep the moisture in. And that's about it. So that's it for this video, guys. I'll definitely make sure I'll keep you posted as these seeds start to grow. And I hope to see you on my next garden video. Take care for now, guys. Bye.